Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Where has she been? Like, I am back and I'm better. Basically, I went into hospital and I was there for a bit. Like, I was there for a hot second, but I'm out, praise God. Back with another video about where I've been, my experience, couple questions in there that you lot asked me on my social media, the truth about psychiatric units. Also got my mum to come in at the end because there's a lot that I don't remember. I think that's very important that I need to remember is that when I'm going through this stuff, I'm not the only one going through it. Like, the people who love me, the people that are closest to me, they also go through it. I wanted to include my G, Kate. She was there with me every step of the way. It didn't matter where I went or where I was, like, she was there. We had a schedule. Please believe it. 9:30 on the clock. I'm seeing 9:30. Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring. They'll be like, yeah, that's Kate. Yo, my G. Shout out Kate.
How did you manage to cope every day in hospital without sharing with us?
Well, to be honest, I didn't really have a choice. When I wasn't posting on Instagram and I wasn't responding to messages, that wasn't anything to do with, like, that wasn't my choice. Where I wasn't allowed my phone. When people came to visit me, they weren't allowed to bring their phones or anything, so it was just completely cut off. There was a lot of times and a lot of points where I thought, oh my gosh, like, imagine if I had my phone. People that I know, like, they could really see what it was like, as serious as it was. I'm not gonna lie to you, on the worst days, I would sit there and I would laugh. It's not funny, but it's so funny. I liked it a little bit, not having a phone. It was a nice kind of cut off from reality.
Hope you're keeping well. How are you now?
I'm keeping well. I'm happy. I'm just happy to be home. It's still early days for me. I'm still trying to get back into what I was doing, so like college, work, all of the things that I want to do for myself. Getting back into my YouTube. I know what I want, which is a good thing. I know that I can get there, so I'm good. I'm good.
What kind of things do you do when you are there?
It's literally so boring. There's nothing to do. You literally have to entertain yourself and let whatever was going on around you be your entertainment, because there's not much that you can do. There's an art room. I did cooking. There's a sensory room. Obviously a sensory room is like, I don't know how to describe it. A room that you go in, it's very calming, there's light, different things in there. I had like a projector so you could watch like Netflix. Yeah, a lot of it is just sitting around and just like engaging with staff and the patients. And that's basically what everyone does. You wake up, you take your meds, you eat or whatever. It's boring, but it's so entertaining. You have to be there to understand.
Why was your experience on the wards as bad as you described?
As funny as things were, as much as like I laugh, it is a serious situation. Like, you've been brought in from your home and your family and your friends. You've been brought into hospital against your own will. I was on the section. Section is basically a law that can keep you in hospital. There's so much restrictions. There's so much you can't do. Obviously, it's a hospital. It's a safe place. There was a lot of serious things that happened. A lot of staff that work within that sector, they're not working there because they care, they're working there because it's a job. You're very vulnerable in that place and you're on your own. Because they have the power to like put hands on you, force you medication, I feel like in a lot of circumstances it goes wrong. The power goes to some of these staff members' head. There was a time where a nurse actually kicked me. Something serious had just happened. I just did something really serious to myself. As a nurse, you're meant to have that compassion, you're meant to care. Like, my bed was stripped. All I have a picture, I'll insert it here. All I had was my blue mattress and literally like the plastic pillow, and she was just like, this is how you're gonna sleep. I was forced to do things, forced to have medication. A lot of the time I just wanted to go home. A lot of the time I didn't want to be anywhere. It was a horrible experience because in that setting you would hope that everyone would be understanding, everyone would take time with you and just want the best for you, but that's not always the case. There can be some really horrible patients, some really horrible staff. You're in a place that you don't want to be in, and they're trying to help you do all of this for you, which you don't necessarily want. I would just think, I miss these people. Like, I don't want to, you know, sit with you for an hour or 2 hours and then you have to go, like, and then I'm just still here. When these people go, I'm on my own. That's why my experience on the wards was so bad, because it just wasn't a great time in my life anyway. So I think wherever I was in that state and whatever, I just wouldn't have enjoyed it.
When you were there, did they make you feel trapped and keep you drugged up?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, you can go outside. Like I said, it's very, very, very restricted. It has to be a staff member to supervise you. So there was a lot of times where I wasn't allowed to go outside. You can't just decide that you want to go outside 8 o'clock at night. Once it gets dark, that's it. The garden there is a secured garden. You can't go anywhere. The doors are locked. You do feel trapped. You can't even decide, okay, I want a drink, I'm gonna go get a drink. Knowing this is the door that can lead me home, this is the door that can let me get out, and it's locked, you're bound to feel trapped. You're bound to feel like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. Because I was on intensive care, I was drugged up, because that's what they do. As soon as I went to intensive care, my doses of things that like calm you and sedate you was put up. I was waking up at 9 o'clock in the morning to take medication when I've just woken up, like I'm calm. When I look back, I realised, yeah, I was drugged up. They used to give me a lot of meds, like they wanted me to sleep.
How often could you see your family?
Okay, so the main 2 people that came to visit me was my mum. I would see my mum like most times on the weekend, and my other friend Kate. She saw me a lot more, but I would see her like probably like 3 times in the weeks. The ward got used to Kate a lot because she was just always there.
They'd be like, oh, when's Kate coming? And I'd be like, oh, she's coming today. And they'd be like, oh, okay.
Just to have that break of being on the ward and just seeing someone who knows you, who loves you.
At the time that you were in hospital, did you think that there would come a point where you would be coming home?
No. It was so dark in my mind. Like I was told,
you're going to be here for a long time.
They referred me to forensics. If you don't know what forensics is, basically it's the top of the top. It's the highest of the highest. Broadmoor. I think Broadmoor's a forensic. It's like for the criminally insane, telling me like, we've referred you to forensics.
And I was like, sorry, what?
No, like people who go there, their life's over when they go there. I did not want that for myself. I thought I'm either gonna get carried out in a body bag. I didn't know. I honestly thought I'm gonna die in this place. I am going to die in this hospital. There's no more continuing for me. Like I honestly believed that for a long time. It wasn't until literally the end of being on intensive care that it just all of a sudden started to get brighter. I became more of Amari again. I didn't think about coming home. Obviously I thought about coming home, I wanted to come home, but it just didn't seem like it was gonna happen anytime soon, and if not ever.
What was the turning point? At what point did things switch around for you? What made you think, actually, I've got hope?
I had a phone call from my mum, and for those that don't know, I am a Christian. I believe in God. Everything I've been through in my life, like I feel like I'm a living testimony. I feel like my story just proves like there must be a God, there must be someone up there looking out for me. There's just been so many times that I've been close to death, times where people would think, how did you get through that? Or how are you still going? Like, how do you still have the strength? How do you bounce back from that? A phone call that I had from my mum, and she was just talking about a message that she had received for me. I just kind of like, I remembered who I was, but most importantly, I remembered who my God that I believe in was. There's nothing hard for God. There's nothing too much for God. Most of all, the thing that helped me was I realized God has not forgotten about me. Everything that he started within me and everything that he has for me has not gone away just because I'm in this dark place. That's what just made me think, I don't have to accept this. I don't have to be in this situation and not have anyone to get me through. God is what brought me out of there. I stopped my medication, I wasn't eating, I wasn't drinking, I was losing weight, all those things. I was on one-to-one. It's when you have a staff member with you all the time, like all the time. When you sleep, when you poo, when you go to eat, when you sit down, one-to-one would always be within arm's length of me. Up till the day that I left intensive care, that one-to-one did not go. The day before I left intensive care, they told me, we've cancelled your referral out. When you're in intensive care, you can't just go home. You have to go to like a less secure hospital and go home from there. They told me,
you know, we're thinking about sending you to hospital to have fluids because you're not eating, you're not drinking, you don't feel ready yet, we're putting your referral out on hold.
And the next day I was out. But you know what? I expected it because I know how God moves, I know how God works. I actually had another phone call from my friend. It was like God was just speaking through her. Like, I've never heard her speak like that in her life. She was just telling me medication's not my answer, and like God is my answer. You're gonna get out of there, and people are gonna wonder how God is gonna get you out of there. I was just thinking, like, I believe you. Even the day that I was leaving, the staff was shocked.
They were like, are you sure you're going? Like, who told you that you're going?
I was like, I'm going. Like, this is for real. I'm out of here. And that's what got me through. The big man up there, like, that's what got me through. There was no way out for me. That's what I believed. And then just out of nowhere, everything was good. As funny as being in hospital was, I can laugh about it now. There was a lot of times where I wasn't laughing. There was a lot of times that I cried. I was so upset. I was so low. I was so suicidal. I was so gone. I was so unwell. Now that I'm out of it, I'm able to laugh about things. Everyone on that ward, patients-wise, they're unwell. It is very draining, you know, to be around people who are that unwell when you're going through whatever in your head. Everyone's just different. So there's people that are aggressive, there are people that are really nice, there are people that are just not with it, like they don't know where they are. Just traumatic stuff, like my brain doesn't remember. Your daughter or your son could be in hospital. It happens to anyone, like it could happen to anyone. It's real, do you know what I mean? It's real, it happens, and we have to deal with it. I'm just gonna call my mum in just to touch base on how she feels, how it was for her. What was it like being the parent of someone in a psychiatric unit?
Obviously, this is not your first admission. To a certain extent, you kind of get used to it, but every time it just absolutely blows you away. As mum, we are the provider, we're the protector, we're the kiss it better, and not being able to do that is tough. And being dictated to by the powers that be, when I can see you, what I'm allowed to do with you, how we can spend our time together, it just tears you apart inside. It absolutely tears you apart. I think when it first started happening, I think I was in a bit of denial. I was like, this isn't really happening. Several years later, you kind of realise this is reality, you just got to deal with it. I think the main thing is just feeling just so inadequate and so frustrated that you just can't fix it. I think that's the overriding emotion, that you can't make it all better.
So the second question is, how do you remember my experience in hospital?
Again, incredibly frustrating, because I've got to stand on the sidelines and watch you self-destruct, to go through those experiences where you're refusing to eat, your BM has fallen so low that you can go into cardiac arrest or have a stroke at any time, and you're still refusing to eat and drink. I'm talking to you and I'm saying, come on, we need to do this, and you're looking at me blank, saying, I don't want to be here, why should I do this? But at the same time, watching you go through all these different emotions, I can remember one time going to visit you, and for the first half an hour, you spent the whole half an hour shouting at me and screaming at me at the top of your voice, saying, I'm coming home with you, I don't want to be here, these people can't keep me here, they don't know what's best for me. I'm just having to just sit there and absorb. A lot of the time when I've gone to see you, I'm literally walking on eggshells, because I know that you're not well, and I know that you're vulnerable, and I know that you don't really want to be there. I know that you're saying at the time, I'm checking out, and I know that if I'm coming with you at that point when you're feeling really low with positivity, it's just going to get chucked back in my face. So each visit is like trying to feel out
how I am,
how you are, what I can say, what you will receive. But at the same time, I've got to be like positive, and I've got to be like, you know, there for you. The challenging thing about going down this route now that you're no longer an adolescent is that nobody tells you anything, and that's incredibly frustrating. Before, it was very hands-on, and I was involved in all the decisions and what was happening, and that just doesn't happen in adult services. Just watching it all unfold and being powerless to make effective change in the timescale that you would like to make those changes for your mental health improvement, and not being able to do that is just so frustrating.
Last question, what was most difficult about visiting me in hospital?
The most difficult thing is not being able to take you home. The most difficult thing is listening to you saying, Mummy, don't leave me here. Mummy, these people aren't helping me. Listening to you cry and beg and plead with me to take you out of there, to help you. And having that knowledge that at that given time, there's nothing I can do. And you're really, really low, and you're saying, Mummy, don't leave me here with these people. And I have to leave you there with those people. That's the hardest thing. That's absolutely the hardest thing. Yeah.
Guess what? I'm home!
Oh, she's home!
I'm happy to be home. Thank you guys for looking in. I pray that I stay home. If anyone is in a situation where you could be admitted, or you're having a hard time, or you've come out of hospital, or you're in hospital, feel free to contact me and my mum. Like, if there's parents out there and your child is going through the same thing, or you're going through the same thing, like, I do really love interacting with you all. My social media is gonna be somewhere, so is my mum's. Yeah, like we've gone through it, and we're still going through it. We love to be able to help people, to be able to interact with people, and this is just to let people know it's real, what happens. The fact that I'm sitting here and I'm speaking on this and my experience, and I'm out of hospital, just shows that you can go through it and see the other side. There are some staff members that literally go above and beyond. There was a staff member, and I was sitting there talking to her, and I was like, oh, my feet are dry. She was like, let me cream your feet. And I was like, what? And she was creaming my feet. I looked at this nurse and I was like, for someone to cream your foot, like, do you know how many members of staff would be like, cream your own foot? If you're watching this, she knows who she is, but if you're watching this, thank you so much. Like, when I first met you, I really thought like you just didn't care about the job. You just showed me on that admission that you are an amazing nurse. Thank you, people at Ladywell in the place of safety, in Lambeth, the intensive care unit. Thank you to everyone watching. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. Even if you can't see it, you're going to get to a point where you're going to see that little bit of light, and then it's just going to get lighter and lighter and lighter as you go more on your journey. Let's just be great together, man. Let's just live life together and enjoy and just empower one another and love one another.
And I would say, where there is life, there is hope.
Definitely.
Let's help others, to help others, to help others.
Peace
Out.
I'm down the wrong hole.
Okay.
We like to drink with Mari, because Mari is our mate. And when we drink with Mari, she dials it down in 8.
7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5.
Hey.